3 players I want you to trade for in fantasy football right now. The first is Jerry Jeudy. Now, he hasn't quite lit up the box score yet since his return from injury, but he's had target shares of 29% and 25% over his last 2 games. He has clearly taken over as Teddy Bridgewater's number 1 target in the passing game, as Courtland Sutton has had a target share under 10% in those same 2 games. Jeudy also found himself top 15 in air yards in Week 10. As I've talked about before, we follow the targets and we follow the air yards to predict future production. All indications from Jeudy are that he's about to go off. Speaking of following the targets and the air yards, Tyler Lockett is another one who is on the verge of some spike weeks. Lockett finished Week 10 second on the team in targets, and he was second to only Stephon Diggs among all players with 183 air yards. We saw this with CeeDee Lamb in Week 9. He had just 2 catches for 23 yards, but he led the league in air yards, and he had 9 targets. And then he came back in Week 10 with 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. We know Lockett is highly volatile, but he also delivers those week-winning performances. All indications are saying he's got a few of those coming. Go buy him before it happens. I talked about Jalen Waddle as a buy back in Week 7. Since then, he's had target shares of 20%, 31%, 23%, and 17%. He even got the air yards in Week 9, finishing top 15 among all players. He's become the top option in the passing game, and he's starting to get downfield looks as well. The target volume gives him a solid wide receiver 3 floor, while his speed and playmaking ability give him a wide receiver 1 ceiling in any given week. He's going to have at least one monster game before the end of the season.